Welcome to the Brutally Honest Show. This is Aaron True, 2010 MMA Reporter of the Year nominee, known for his hijinks in MMA, getting beat up by Ronda Rousey for Doom, Cyborg, joined by my co-host, as always, television TV star, cage-side reporter. He's also the editor of the Clinch Report, Jonathan King. Also, Adrian, the Mad Hatter Gallegos. He's our audio and video producer. He's also a cage-side photographer, jiu-jitsu practitioner, and coach. Tonight, we have two big guests. We have the legendary Phil Baroni at 8:40 in 40 minutes from now. In 20 minutes, we have the Ultimate Fighter 2 season winner, Joe Daddy Stevenson. Two big-name guests, Phil Baroni, Joe Stevenson. Until then, we're going to have some fun. We're going to start the show off like we always do, relaxing, getting ourselves a drink so we can get into the right mindset, the right mood. So we're going to turn it over to the Mad Hatter Adrian for our Beer of the Week.
So this week's Beer of the Week is called Prairie Artisan Ales. It's a standard hoppy farmhouse ale. And this is a great new brewery that I found recently. They're known for a lot of their sours or their farmhouse ales. So farmhouse ales is it's also called a saison, and basically what they are, or where they come from, is there were beers that were made from they made, traditionally you made beer in the winter, right, because there was no refrigeration, and then what they do is they would keep this beer specifically for the farmers that came out to work in the summer, and that's what they're called, seasonal, right, seasonal farmers. So I'll go ahead and start opening it up and have a taste.
Okay, I'm going to tell a story while you do this. This is the funniest thing ever that I've seen. If they're listening, I'm sorry, and I'm not going to name their name. You guys know who it is, so don't say the name. The Great Taco Escape of 2015. The Great Taco Escape. So my friend, he posts online, his girlfriend posts online, yeah, it kind of sucks when your boyfriend disappears for several hours. He said he was going to Jack in the Box for tacos, and he never came home. 5 hours later, the guy's not home. His phone's off. She goes by his house. She's posting on Facebook, wait, where the hell is this guy? He said he's going to get tacos, and he never came back. I've got my suspicions, but where is this guy? A few hours later, thank you, he gets tagged on Facebook by his buddies. He's at the bar, and he's up to no good. Busted. She comments on the photo, wow, nice ditch job, busted. So now I've dubbed it the Great Taco Escape.
I would have been like, where are my tacos? That would have been my comment.
I would have said,
where are my tacos?
I would have said your first suspicion should have been, who the hell goes to Jack in the Box for tacos in the middle of the night?
Actually, those are some good freaking tacos.
I know, but come on, you're just gonna ditch your wife? That's like saying, yeah, I'm gonna go get a carton of milk. Come on.
Is my wife listening?
So going back to this beer, this is cheers first. Cheers. All right.
Ow!
Cheers. By the way, I'm not supposed to be drinking. I just got my wisdom tooth removed, but I'm trying to keep it on one side. Anyways, what this beer is, it's more of a dry beer. You'll notice it has a little bit of a sourness, and this specifically beer, this one, what makes it unique is that it has a hoppy ending. So not...
Wait, a rub and tug or a hop and tug?
Yeah, I realized after I said
hop
that.
And tug. Yeah. We've been going to the wrong places, brother.
He's like
Thai massage, not rabbit massage.
If you're watching the video cast on YouTube, you can see Adrian's face. One half of it is twice the size from his dental surgery today. This is hilarious.
So yeah, but it's a good beer. If you guys recommend it, it's more of a dry beer, like I said. It has a spicy lime flavor towards the end, and it's good. I like it.
I like it. It tastes good because I'm not a big beer drinker, but I think it's very not exactly mild. It's very flavorful, but it's good. What kind of occasion would this be good for? And what's the price range?
The beer itself is actually pretty reasonable. Prairie does have very, very expensive stouts. A bottle of some of their stouts can go up to like $20 just for one bottle.
Damn.
But this is I think it's about, I want to say it's about $2 a bottle, $2-3 a bottle for the smaller ones, not a bomber or 22 ounce. So. But it's a good beer. What do you think, John?
I like it. You know what's surprising about it is, if you hold it up to the light, it's really pale. So I wasn't expecting, I'm not a very educated beer drinker. I don't drink that much, but usually the lighter beers to me are the ones that don't have like full-bodied flavor for what I would consider. They would disappear quick, but that's got a lot of flavor for a very clear light-bodied beer. It's got a really nice finish to it, and unlike most artisan beers, it's not too heavy duty.
Good. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it's a little. The color's kind of hazy. You know, and that's traditional. And
It's good shit.
Call it again. It's a saison or a farmhouse ale. So
What does saison mean?
saison comes from the. I guess it's a French word for seasonal.
Saison.
Yeah.
What a scandal going on. Ronda Rousey, the queen of the do nothing bitch movement, who is outspoken against domestic violence, has been outspoken against Floyd Mayweather in particular for being someone who's been not just accused but has been convicted of domestic violence. And now she is supposedly linked to someone who is accused of domestic violence. I say accused because he hasn't been convicted, but
This guy over
it's
here
crazy.
calls me the wild card, Adrian. How many times have you heard he made a about Ronda, about Travis? How many times did you hear him use the word allegedly in there? I didn't hear it once. Did you?
Not once. I didn't at all.
Yeah, those are all alleged.
No, everything I said is a fact, except for she is allegedly linked to be dating him.
Right.
But he has not been convicted of anything. He was accused.
Yeah, he was.
That's true. So that
accused-
doesn't mean he was
yeah,
convicted.
It's alleged that
and
he.
Floyd Mayweather actually went to jail, so I know that he technically
Yeah,
was
that
convicted.
actually was
Yeah. So
legit,
these
yeah.
are actual facts.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Ronda, like I said, has been extremely outspoken against that. So it's interesting to see that now she's linked to someone like that, or at least seen in public with that, because it kills the movement with. She has, this big fight announcement coming on. She's in the news talking poorly about Floyd. So we actually have an entertainment reporter. We have fresh off the streets. Adrian, are we going to bring in this phone call?
Is this the dude from TMZ?
It is. It's our friend. He's not from Team. I can't say the name of the outlet he's from, but he may be either from TMZ, Splash, or from some huge news media. I think he wants to remain anonymous, so we can't say it. But I believe we have literally in the bushes in front of Ronda's house in Venice Beach our entertainment reporter. This is DeVito Seacrest. DeVito, are you there with the report?
Yeah. This is DeVito Seacrest with the Hush Hush report live from the beachfront in Venice, California, in front of Ronda Rousey's beach house. I gotta tell you boys, I've been camped out in the bushes all freaking night, waiting for some more info on this Travis Browne dating scandal.
Wait. You're at Ronda's house in Venice?
She's very hush hush. Don't say the word because I don't want to get caught. But obviously, Ronda has never seen Wolf of Wall Street. She would know. Anything connected to Benihana will be your downfall. Ooh, these bushes hurt. I got a couple thorns in my ass. Ooh, but I got one thing to say, and this is for G Network. According to the estranged wife of Travis Browne, Ronda is claiming she is not a do-nothing bitch, but meanwhile she's dating a married man. It's a single wife beater. These exact things she would kill Mayweather with. I'm calling Bravo. We have a conspiracy theory out on the front. Word on the street on the hush hush is that Ronda took TMZ to her location to make a video about Mayweather to take the attention off of the scandal. Oh, this is on the hush hush, I gotta tell you. Shit, Ronda just called me and peeking in there with her. She's coming after me.
Yeah.
That was DeVito Seacrest with the Hush Hush. And that he made a good point. He said that the downfall...
He made a point?
Did you hear what he said about Wolf of Wall Street? He said she hasn't seen Wolf of Wall Street because Benihana is always the downfall. The picture of Ronda and Travis that got leaked was at Benihana. And in Wolf of Wall Street, the guy who's owned Benihana, remember his son got them taken down? Steve Madden or something like that?
Don't you ever go to a hibachi, because you're just going to get fucked if you go to a hibachi.
It's true.
By the way, how crazy was that picture of Travis Browne?
Oh my God, he was furious.
Right? How pissed
He was furious.
Taking a picture of his daughter, I can kind of understand that. you know?
Oh no! I didn't even know his kids were in there. I
Yeah,
don't even know.
there's-
I don't even see.
There's a picture. It's like a third. There's a picture of his daughter, and then there's a picture of him gleaming.
I have a feeling it wasn't that he was upset about the kids in the photo. It was that he was arm to arm with Ronda Rousey, and there was 2 empty wine glasses in front of her, and she was
Right.
with someone who's currently under suspension and being investigated for domestic violence, allegedly.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly,
And-
that was the more shocking thing. I think he looked like a guy that not want to get a picture taken when he was like caught. Caught.
Oh
in
my
the
God,
act.
that look he gave that person taking the photo. Oh my God. Oh, so speaking of, people think, well, why would Ronda go out in public with him? She's so recognizable. But to be honest, she's not always as recognizable as people think. Clinch. True or false? You live in Venice Beach. And sorry, we just got a text from one of our guests. I think that he is half an hour off on the time, so we're gonna bring Phil Baroni in early in about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But Clinch, you were at the beach in Venice.
Yeah.
And true or false, you saw Ronda walk onto the beach because you live in Venice as well, and not a damn person recognized her or took a photo or walked up to her.
Nope.
And she was there sunbathing.
Yeah, she walked herself up. Literally walked right past me. I guess she didn't see me. She I kind of know her a little bit. I wouldn't say we're acquaintances or friends, but we do know each other. We've met several times.
But she failed to recognize you on this.
Yeah,
occasion.
she was singular in her mindset, dude. She walked right past me, went right to the beach. I didn't make any attempt to say hello to her or anything. She looked like she was in her own world, so I left her alone. But yeah, nobody was following her. Nobody was bothering her. Nobody was asking her for autographs. Fucking most famous woman on the planet right now, pretty much.
On the beach, sunbathing, and no one recognized her. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
All right, I think Phil Baroni, he has a timing situation, so we're going to take him half an hour early, which is fine with us. So we're going to call in Phil Baroni now, and before we do that, so in terms of the situation, I was never not a fan of Ronda, but I'm actually becoming more of a fan of hers, to be honest, just because she is so dominant. I think if you're a champion, you can say and do whatever the hell you want, not in terms of a negative aspect or do anything to provide a bad example, but I mean, let her. I don't care what the hell she does. She's the most dominant fighter in the world. She's a multimillionaire. She has a successful movie career. I'm not a hater. I'm happy for her. I think it's incredible. I think what she's done is literally incredible.
She is literally the female Ric Flair. Limousine riding, jet flying, Rolex wearing, son of a gun. And she can do whatever she wants. I love her. I think she's awesome. I think she's great for the sport. I think she's great for the youth. I think she's awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest tonight, a legend in the MMA world. You've seen him fight in Pride. You've seen him fight in Japan in several organizations, in the UFC. He's also a professional wrestler. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York badass, Phil Baroni. Phil, welcome to the show. This is Aaron True, Jonathan King, and Adrian. How are you?
What's up, man? Thanks for the introduction. Pretty good.
Thanks for coming on the show tonight. So tell us, you were just on the news the other day at a press conference. What announcement did you have?
I was there to, just letting everyone know to kick this dude's ass and win the Rebel FC welterweight championship.
Nice. You're going for a title, Phil.
Yeah, title shot.
Excellent.
They're crowning their first champion, having a Grand Prix like in Pride. We have multiple fights in one night, so I'm pretty stoked about it.
Well, that's awesome. When can we see that happen?
It's 8 weeks from now. 8 weeks from now. I don't know the date exactly off my head. I count by the weeks. I got 8 weeks left to train.
Are we gonna get the opportunity to see soccer kicks in this fight?
Well, they're negotiating the rules right now. It's the first big event. I know there are knees and head allowed on the ground. I'm shooting for soccer kicks. I'm going to be voting for soccer kicks.
Phil, speaking of soccer kicks and fighting dirty and fighting fun, I don't know if it's something about guys from New York, but my co-host here, Clinch, he actually recently lost his job over basically taking out a homeless person. I read, is it true, that you beat up the janitor when you were in high school?
One of the janitors, yes.
Can you tell us what happened?
I can hardly remember, man. I just threw him around. He wouldn't let me in. I ended up missing. He wouldn't let me in. He wouldn't let me in the door because he was waxing the floor or some bullshit. So I had to walk around. I ended up missing being late for in-school suspension because he wouldn't open the door. So I ended up throwing his fucking waxing machine. Those whole waxing machines. I threw it at him, and then he got tough with me, and
it just goes to show. It just goes to show you. I mean, big difference between Phil. Phil's a monster, and I'm a little pipsqueak, but same exact attitude. You can take the guy out of Long Island, but you cannot take the Long Island out of the guy. If you get pushed too far, that homeless guy picked up a fucking tire iron, dude. And I don't care if I'm managing a gym or managing a fucking a three-piece suit and tie office with 400 workers. If someone picks up a tire iron, I'm dropping F-bombs and throwing fucking hands, Yeah,
it's on. When we took the tire iron.
Boom, on.
Phil, actually, you also are professional wrestling now. I saw some awesome videos. You looked really good, not in a weird way, but you looked good in terms of your performance. And I wanted to ask you, how do you differentiate from pulling the punch, so to speak? Because it looked like you were landing some like pretty good kicks and punches and really taking it to the guy. So how do you, are you really, I know wrestling is fake, I know supposedly, but it looks pretty damn real.
On certain stuff, I lay him in there, and a lot of the wrestlers are frustrated wannabe fighters. They're like, just lay it in there. So I lay it on them. When they tell me to lay it down on them, I lay him in. I lay him in there. It's as physical and as rough as both guys want to make it.
Nice. I saw you had some. There's a little bit of heat with you and Chael Sonnen back and forth there. The American Gangster. I know he's with that organization out in. I guess they're in Vegas. Any chance?
East of Vegas.
Yeah. Any chance we're going to see you two guys lock horns?
Yeah, but who knows, man? We might end up being a team. We might end up going at it. I mean, you never know with Chael. I'm just.
You never know with you either. Two guys you love to hate.
We'll see. We're definitely both be a part of with the wrestling there. It's Global Force Wrestling. We're definitely going to be a part of it. He's already broadcasting for them, so I'll be making my way in there soon.
Oh wow! So this might be the prelude to a little bit of action, a little bit of heat that might take place with you guys when you're in the same organization, the wrestling. Then okay.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh, wow. Well, Chael's a pretty big guy. Do you think you can trust him not to pull the punch? And if he accidentally lets one slip, I think it's called a potato, right? If he lands a potato, are you gonna land a bomb on him?
It's gonna be on, man. It's gonna be on. If he lands a potato, I'll potato him right back.
Yeah, I could see that match going like this: going work, shoot, work, shoot, work, shoot, work, shoot, work, shoot, work, winner.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be the winner, though. So I'll shoot until I win.
Phil, let me ask you a question. You've been able to stay in shape year-round, pretty much. You're always in fight shape. You're always ready to go, ready to compete on short notice. I used to live in Vegas, and
yeah,
I wasn't able.
No, I'm never in shape. I'm never in shape.
Well, compared to a normal guy, you look pretty good.
I look in shape. I'm not in shape. I look in shape.
Well, how do you turn it on then for those 8 weeks before the fight, or do you just keep doing the same routine?
No, I just do it. I turn it on 8 weeks before the fight. The other stuff is maintenance to look good for pro wrestling, but no, bro, I'm not out of shape. Like I have to bust my ass right now to get cheap for this next fight. I mean, I'm hurt right now, bro. I'm tired right now. I went to the tours. I've been training at one kick, so I'm exhausted. It's a different switch. It's a lot different to look in shape or be in shape. And
yeah,
I look in shape. I'm not quite in shape.
Yeah, I saw you were posting that you were training there with Fitch. You guys look like you look like you were in fighting shape to me, and you're still 8 weeks out. Maybe talk about that. What's the difference between the type of in shape that you have to be for professional wrestling, as far as like your regular workout or your maintenance, your diet? Is there any similarity between that and what you have to do to get ready for a fight?
And the amount of weight you have to put on.
Yeah,
I'm basically on my diet for a fight when I'm pro wrestling. That's why I look in shape. I'm basically on that diet. That's the look diet. But the difference is, man, I just started running 6 miles a day and stuff like that. That's a big difference, Pro wrestling is one thing, for fight training is another thing. Pro wrestling is rough, and you definitely take bumps and shit hurts. But fight training, somebody's really trying to hurt you. It's a way different. It's a different animal. It's another level of condition to be in fight shape.
Now, it's been a while since we've seen you in the cage. Last time didn't go your way.
That's the best fight.
What can we expect from you, Phil? Because every time I think you're coming out there, win or lose, even when you lose, dude, you come out guns blazing. So it's always a fun fight for me to watch. What can we expect from you?
Not the last fights. I came with no bullets, but this fight I'll come with bullets. I'm going to be big, strong, and I'm just going for broke, man. The last fight, I went to the fight with 2 empty guns. This time I'll come with fully loaded, and I'm going to. As soon as the bell rings, I'm going to be back to my old self and just let it hang out there.
Phil, you're actually one of my dad's favorite fighters. I think you actually might be his favorite fighter, but even to this day, he always mentions, even though it was actually a loss, which I always forget, because your fights are so entertaining, I don't really even remember the win or loss. I just remember, the action. But I used to always watch Strikeforce on Showtime, and I think it was your fight against Frank Shamrock. And my dad was walking by the kitchen, and he goes, "Oh my God, this guy walking out, this is awesome," with Phil in the robe, And then he just saw the antics during the fight. And to this day, he always mentioned, he goes, "What's going on what's that guy, the Baroni guy? What's he up to?" And to this day, as a casual, he knows who Ronda Rousey is and Frank Shamrock and Phil Baroni, but he always asks about you. So you're one of his favorite fighters, so he's actually really happy that we're having you on the show. It's pretty cool.
No, that's awesome, man. I appreciate that. He has really good taste. And like I said, I'll be fighting at Rebel FC, man. It's Grand Prix, I mean, I was unofficially retired until I heard about, this tournament. They got some really good guys. All they lost. They got a bunch of tough guys enter this tournament, and the fight for the Grand Prix, fight, in a multi fight one night to crown a champion. It just sparked my interest, and I dusted off the old boots and got my gloves and found my mouthpiece and went to the gym. I mean, it's just something like this, something that, it's got to motivate me. It's got to like spark the interest, That fight your father saw against Shamrock. I mean, I was fighting a legend, Frank Shamrock. I watched him growing up as a kid, beating up Tito Ortiz, and and I just wanted to take that fight. This is something else like that. There's not too many tournaments where you crown the champion in one night, where you fight multiple times in order to be a champion. There's a lot, there's a lot goes into it, man, and I'm really excited to be a part of it, So. If your dad's a Baroni fan, tell him to watch the Rebel FC fight, man. It's gonna be good.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to see it. Where can we watch it? Do you know if it's going to be on a network or on a
Well, it's on free TV in China, but none of us are Chinese, so I'm sure they're going to have a webcast. You know what I mean? They're going to have a webcast, and once I find out, I'll definitely hit you guys up with the information.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. I can't wait to see you back in the cage, man.
Yeah, Phil, thank you.
Man, I appreciate it.
Phil, thank you so much for taking some time tonight. I know that you're tired, that you've been training double days. Last thing before we let you go, where again, I know you mentioned already, but who is helping you get ready for this fight? Where are you training? And who are the people who are sponsoring you and just, supporting you in your corner?
No, the company I own myself, me and my partners, Paulie and Frankie, we own Future Legends, so, I'm sponsor myself, and I'm bouncing between, one kid, Nick, who's always been my trainer, my stand-up coach. He saw the picture there with me and Fitch, at his gym, and I'm bouncing back and forth between Syndicate and Couture's gym. We've got some good, young, hungry guys, and I'm just getting some of the workouts in.
All right, Phil, I have to do my infamous thing where I always say that was the last question, but now double last question. I can't believe I forgot this. I'm such a huge Hammer House fan. I cannot believe I forgot this. Okay, this was actually not like too old school, but you cornered Mark Coleman in a UFC fight, in one of his last ones. I think it was against was it Couture or
Honor.
And at the end, like going into the third round or last round, all you were just screaming at him, "You're a legend! You're a fucking legend! You're a legend!" What the hell? What was what advice were you just trying to pump him up, or that's like one of the most famous tournaments ever? Yeah, I was trying to get
him going, man. Like you can tell some guy something technical, but we're going to tell Mark Coleman technical how to finish a single leg or a double leg. He didn't need to hear any technical. He just needed some motivation, and he needed to get pumped up, and he needed to get inspired to go out there and just finish the last 5 minutes. He had the fight won. He didn't hear no technical bullshit. Get fake left and go right and shoot a double leg. He just needed some fucking rah inspiration and to get fucking fired up. And I did that. And I'm underrated corner man. I always tell my my guys what they need, because why? I've been there. I've been in every position that anyone's ever been in a fight, and I've been where Coleman was when he needed that third round. He was fucking tired, and I could see the worm of doubt, crawling into his fucking ear, and I fucking pulled that worm out and filled it up with some fucking, inspiration. I told him he's a legend. Me and everyone else look up to him on the Hammer House. He's gonna get out there and win this one for himself and for us, and he did just that.
That's awesome.
That's great, Phil. Is it okay if another time when we plan it ahead better, if we can get you on for a longer amount of time, just because I'd love to dig deep into some stuff, from the history of MMA, and, you're such a legend in the sport. You've been there and done that, seen everything. I'd love to pick your brain more, if that'd be okay with you sometime.
yeah, the next few kind words, and yeah, man, and another time for sure. Just set it up, and I'll give you guys a good interview.
Thank you so much. This is the legendary New York badass, Phil Baroni. You can see him fight coming up in the Grand Prix. We'll post information on our website. And, oh, God, if you're watching the YouTube broadcast, we have a special photo, actually, of Phil Baroni and myself from a Strikeforce event about 8 years ago, and it's the most homoerotic pose ever. So we'll have to send that to you, Phil. I can't believe that they posted this. Oh, God. You're wearing a wife beater, and we're standing, like...
You're spooning.
We're spooning, and we have the fist pose, and I have the Pauly D spikes, and you have a wife beater on.
All right. Yeah, send me that one.
Definitely thanks a situation.
Thanks a lot, Phil. All right,
bro.
Phil Baroni.
Best ever, bro. The best ever, man.
Thank you so much. Okay, we actually, since we took Phil early, we have Joe Daddy Stevenson ready to go, so we're going to call him in.
Sure. Baroni's one of the guys that's been around in mixed martial arts since pretty much I would say like the junior high days, the days of BJ Penn and Cal Ono, and
he's an original. He's a pioneer.
He's an OG.
He's a real fighter.
Yeah.
He's not one of these guys who is. I mean, he looks like a freaking incredible athlete, and he is a natural athlete. But I mean, he's a fighter.
He was a legend on Long Island.
He goes out on his sword, or he goes down on his sword.
Yep.
We need to have a whole show dedicated. We need to have a whole show next time actually dedicated just to talking to Phil, picking his brain, because I would love to dissect these stories and talk to him about stuff.
I just remember his classic combo that he did against the guy against the cage. Remember that in the UFC? Who was
it? Dave Men?
Yes. Means or Mene?
Mene.
Yeah, Mene.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember seeing that highlight every time. I mean, anytime somebody wanted to watch the UFC, I was like, just watch this clip.
Or the first Minowa fight where he TKO stomps him.
Yeah.
I mean, just the entrances, getting the theatrics. He's a showman.
Dude,
that's the difference between it. You don't even care what his record is. I looked up his record today and I was like, "Holy crap!" But I don't even care.
But you got to look at who he's fought.
Yeah, but I won't miss a Baroni fight. I'll tell you that much.
And he very rarely he's had a couple tomato cans in there that he didn't have good performances against. But if you look through his record, a lot of them are like
a fight's a
fight. If there was an MMA Hall of Fame, a lot of those guys would be nominees for it. You know what I mean? A lot of the early Pride guys and Japanese dudes. They're badass.
We'll post information on the website where you can see him fight. Thanks again, Phil. That was awesome. Moving on to another legend, back to back.
Killing it tonight. Killing it.
The winner of Season 2 of The Ultimate Fighter, former champion in several organizations, one of the most exciting title fights ever in the UFC lightweight division against BJ Penn. This guy has his own team, Cobra Kai. He's coaching fighters. He's cornering people. He's the daddy. He's also literally called the daddy as he's a TV star on the show Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Joe Daddy Stevenson. Joe, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Great, thank you. This is Aaron True, and I'm also joined by your friend Jonathan King and our producer Adrian Gallegos. Thank you so much for taking the time tonight. Joe, we're going to jump right into it. I had a question for you here. You just cornered a guy a few weeks ago against one of my friends, a friend of our show, the little person, Tyler Freeland.
Oh, yeah.
Your guy had a loss.
Awesome.
No one believes me. This guy is the toughest little person in the freaking world. Tell me what happened in that fight, because your guy was no slouch. Your guy was tough.
Yeah, Lewis is one of my guys that works a full-time job and comes in and fights and loves to fight. Like, his record is lopsided and just loves to get in there. I thought it was a great opportunity, and it ended up being a great fight. Any fight distance, I'm cornering it, it's normally a great fight. That fight was amazing. I was so excited, like, the whole time afterwards.
Hey, Joe, you there? We're losing you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
My phone cuts in and out sometimes. But that was amazing. It went literally back and forth. I was excited the whole time, screaming. I think right before that fight, my wife fought. One of my other buddies, George, fought. And it just kept going and going. That night actually had a bunch of great fights.
Yeah, dude. Joe's got a guy that fights for him, Joe Condon, who's fought in King of the Cage, and recently had a move to a TV spot on World Series of Fighting, and the guy fucking killed it. Pulled huge, awesome fight, huge performance, and then he goes home and installs air conditioners. He's not even a full-time fighter.
He's everyone's buddy right now, dude.
Yeah,
dude, it's so hot this summer. I think Joe is like.
Yeah, we could use him here right now.
But Joe has all these guys. My point is, the guys at Cobra Kai are badass on the amateur and the local pro circuit. it's really tough for these guys because I commentate a lot of the fights that these guys fight on, and a lot of them they can't get fights. A lot of guys fall off against the Cobra Kai guys, and the messed up thing is the guys that are pussing out of these fights are full-time fighters. They train full-time, and then they're going up against the guy who is just plumbing in the morning, and he's like, I'm ready to weigh in, and they're like, fuck that, I ain't fighting you.
Dude, that does suck because all my guys, if you come out of my gym, you only fight tough guys. So it's not an easy road. Like, it's awesome though because we got like our logo is we fight. That's what we do.
Yeah, I've seen you literally anytime you go to an event in Southern California. More often than not, you're gonna see Joe Daddy in the corner or someone. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think Melvin's fighting tomorrow in Bellator. He's the homie. He just gave me a call. He's I think at 55s now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fighting tomorrow night. So let me ask you this. What would you think if someone was to refer to Melvin as Chinny LaRue and to say he's kind of chinny now? Because my co-host right here, Jonathan King, we need to talk to Melvin and get him on the show to answer to this. King, he says, oh yeah, Melvin's chinny. You had a huge win over Melvin in your career. What do you think about that? You think that's an accurate statement?
Well, I think the accurate statement with Melvin is it depends what Melvin comes to the table. If Melvin has a clear head, I've seen him beat like all-American national champs in wrestling, and I've seen him outbox great boxers. I've also seen him buckle under pressure, but I believe it's what Melvin comes to the table. Sometimes he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever competed against. His athleticism is phenomenal. His ability to go. He picks up. You can tell, like, if you get a partying Melvin, his cardio's not there. If his cardio's there, you're in trouble.
Yeah, dude, the same, and this is where the comment came from. It's frustration. It's like the same way I am with Jason Miller. I was a huge Gillard fan. I had big expectations for that guy knocking people out at the 155-pound division, and I just, he can't get out of his own way sometimes, and that kind of, that's kind of where it comes from for that.
Joe Daddy.
Well, fighters, we're all insecure. We fight to prove something to someone or to something for some reason that is unbeknownst to most. Like, you got to figure out why you fight. When you figure out why you fight, you're gonna fight harder.
Do you think that's why so many people retire? Is that why people retire and then come out of retirement because there's still something inside of them that they have to fulfill?
It's like a ghost. Like if you die, they say that. If you have unfulfilled business, like that your ghost lingers around,
right.
You stay around, stuff like that. The same thing as a fighter. Are you ever not a fighter? You train your whole life to compete at a high level, do nasty things to somebody before they do it to you, and then you stop. And if you were smart, you wrote down short-term and long-term goals, and a lot of this time it's just timing. And if your timing doesn't match up in your career, you ain't going to be that guy. It's not going to happen. Luck is preparation and timing meet. So you retire and you continue to go, and then there's an easier path, maybe a weaker division. You get stronger. You figure out how to use new attributes, and you give it a shot again. And everyone says, "Oh, you got lucky," and then he does it again and does it again. It's just amazing. Fighting is the only thing that you don't have to speak the language to understand. You'd be like, "Oh, he's winning. He's on top."
That's so funny. That's actually Master Cordero, Rafael Cordero, Kingsman May. He said the same thing. He goes, in the gym right now, we have people who speak English, Portuguese, French, like all these different languages. But he goes, everyone understands martial arts. It's the universal language.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that you say that. Joe, speaking of people that can take a beating, I take a beating better than anyone out there. You're the stunt coordinator for the hit TV show Kingdom. What does a guy have to do to get a role? You got my co-host here, guest starring.
Hey.
Judge, what the hell
Get
about
me out of
that?
the job here.
Well, honestly, the things that I can talk about Kingdom are that we're on our second season, getting ready to finish up. We've brought on some new, exciting fighters, a female fighter now that her name is Alicia on the show. She's just amazing, Natalie Martinez. The level of competition, everyone got better. We kept training. I took a fight in the middle of the hiatus between seasons just to keep the guys, it helped me also motivate the guys and keep them involved in the sport. They continued to come up here to Victorville and train with me. So if season 1 was anything, season 2 is blowing it out of the water because they got better. It's amazing. They're choreographed, and, as far as wanting to be a part of it, all you got to do is tell John to give me a call, shoot me a text.
Wow,
That's
now you're
right.
throwing me under the bus, Daddy. Now it's my fault.
I got to text him, John. He's like, hey, I just want you to use me and none of my friends. That's exactly what the text says.
Devil horns. Joe, maybe you can touch on this because I've actually worked on the show, so I've seen firsthand, you know, listen, man, a lot of these shows are...
I'm dancing right now, guys, by the way. I'm at a sushi restaurant dancing, talking to you.
Nice, Joe's dancing.
All
But
right.
I've seen, I've been on a lot of, I've seen shows and stuff like that. The one thing you can't bullshit in Hollywood is mixed martial arts. You just... The true fan of mixed martial arts will see right through it. And watching these guys perform, they can fucking bang, dude. I would not want to get in the cage with Matt Lauria. I would not want to get in the cage with Nick Jonas. And I would definitely not want to get in the cage with Tucker because that dude's a psycho-looking dude, man. That guy
you guys
can...
understand, like, almost anyone can call themselves a pro in our sport if they get paid. So they're, like, automatically considered pro. However, to me, I think to become, like, a pro at my gym as my amateur, you have to win a world title and be ranked in camo. Because I think that's one of the most legit rankings out there.
Right.
Otherwise, there's no reason to turn pro. Because that should be your first short-term goal to, eventually reach your long-term goals.
Cool.
So it's the same thing. On the show, like, I would love to see them fight, but a couple times I've been interested in it, but it's so hard,
Yeah, they got to protect that face,
Oh, man.
Did they ever sing on set? Did the Jonas Brothers ever start singing? Just like.
Oh, dude, Nick invited me to his concert at Dre's Las Vegas. We were on stage with him. He started performing. He's so talented. He's very kinetically talented. Like his ability, hand-eye coordination and hand-feet coordination is it's phenomenal. Matt Lauria can literally out-jump me. Like day one when I first met him, he's way more athletic than me. So we've been really lucky because you give me an athlete, I'll give you a fighter. Jonathan Tucker, not kidding, lifts more than me, can squat and deadlift more than me. Put me under at Fortune's Gym down there in Hollywood. The cast that we have, Natalie, she's been doing kickboxing for like 3 years. I wish we could fight other shows. We play softball.
You'd kick the shit out of Seinfeld, wouldn't you?
Oh my gosh, man! We're about to go against like all the other shows in Hollywood for this like softball tournament, and I'm so pumped up about it because we're gonna wreck shop.
Well, see, this is one of my questions, and I'm asking you this partly because you know me real well. Joe's a good friend of mine. For the people listening, we've known each other for quite some time, and what I want to know is, are we going to see a little bit more of an acting role from you in Season 2? Because in Season 1, you played a big role kind of as a background coach, but I want to see if you can get some acting chops, baby. We're going to see you with some lines?
I mean, the cool thing about it, every time, like, when I teach choreograph, I show that every punch is just like your own line. I tell my fighters. So to me, I feel like I've been out there the whole time. I mean, I don't know what Season 2 they bring, but I'm gonna have fun with this whole season and get ready for Season 3 and see where life takes us. This is just amazing.
That's awesome, bro. It's such a good show. I just finished watching Season 1, True. Adrian, you guys got to rent it. It's really good. It's on iTunes. You got to watch it. It's really good. It's addictive. It's like Sons of Anarchy. One episode leads right into the next.
I believe we already dropped on iTunes, Amazon. I think we're number 1 on iTunes dramas. Back and forth with another one. And then we're on Amazon. We're on Google Play. And I would think, I don't know anything about Netflix, but I'm sure that's down the line somewhere.
Right on, man. Right on.
Oh, and then what are the other cool things? I guess Season 2 is going to premiere Wednesday the 14th. You guys will be able to see the first episode of this new saga. Because everything that happens in MMA happens at Navy Street. Like, every bump and bruise, anything behind the scenes, they do such a good job of keeping the integrity. Like, the writer Byron Belasco travels to Jackson's, travels all around the world, and interviews fighters, talks to them, finds out stories, listens and understands some great coaches in MMA. He's done such a good job. Sometimes when I'm watching the show, and I'm sitting there watching the monitor to make sure everything is real, I emotionally attach like my past. I want to cry. I want to scream. I want to laugh. It's amazing to see things like life flash before your eyes. And to me, it's like life. And to everyone else, like, it's definitely entertainment.
All right, well, Joe, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Before we let you go, can you just tell us the last thing? Where can we find your school? Because I know you're an incredible coach and teacher, and you have a great gym and team. Where is your school located, and how can people find you?
Oh, dude, we're in Victorville, California. I literally taught this morning at 9:30 a.m. and then went to set, rehearsed with Matt Loria and a couple of my fighters, drove back from North Hollywood and taught advanced jiu-jitsu tonight in Gi. So we're here off of in Victorville. You can Google it.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks, Joe. We're talking to UFC legend, Cobra Kai gym owner, one of the stunt coordinators, main people for the show Kingdom, all-around great guy, legend in the sport, Joe Daddy Stevenson. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thanks for having us, guys.
Thanks,
John, I'll
Jojo.
still call in a little bit. My phone's going to die.
Love you, bro. Thank you, man.
Love you too, guys. Later.
Thanks.
Dude, that guy's like Baroni too. I've hung out with him many times. I wish he could tell some of the stories on air that he tells off.
He's the same type of thing where I'm thinking during this interview, we need to have this guy on for a whole show. Just
Yep.
because I wanted to dig into his brain, and I felt bad because he's at a restaurant, a sushi restaurant with his family.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, dude, let's let him get going, just because, like I said, I felt bad because we had Baroni on and we had the schedule messed up and we didn't want to take too much time. But
Well, this is where
man,
this is where you get mad at yourself for censoring me, because I was gonna say, hey Joe, make sure you tell the producers Brutally Honest Radio is the MMA podcast of the future, so you need to have us on the show interviewing clients if you want it to be realistic.
Well,
you know?
that actually can the producer get him back on the phone? Well, I don't want to push the luck because he already said to have you contact him, but now let's push the luck.
Well, now you know why you haven't worked there, because I've been preventing it, apparently.
I thought you were going to ask like a 20-minute long question or something, a deep thing, and I felt bad that he was in there. And, man, I wanted to hear him sing that song by Nick Jonas, the Jealous song. I still get jealous.
Dude, I'm telling you, like,
that sounds pretty good, right?
like, Joe can't tell you stuff because he works on the show, and I'm not going to tell you anything that happened in the first season because I'm not a dick. I'm not going to fucking spoil it if you haven't seen it yet. It's really good. It's not just a stupid show about fucking MMA fighters. It's really good. It's a really good show.
John, where can we watch it? What station is it on?
It's on DirecTV. It's actually a DirecTV show.
Oh,
It's
it's
not
a
on
direct
Netflix,
TV.
though? Is it on
No,
Netflix?
it's not on Netflix. Only one season. I think you have to have multiple seasons to be on Netflix. don't
Wait,
you?
DirecTV has their own shows now?
Yeah, dude, and it's really good. Like you would think, like I was like, man, this is gonna be kind of like DirecTV show. What is that? Direct to TV? Like fucking A, you know?
I
But
think
I'm
you guys
telling
might
you-
want to check the source on what station it's on.
No, it's a DirecTV show. It's only on DirecTV package.
So they funded the show.
Yes, it's produced, and I swear to God, you can look it up. And but the first season was just released on iTunes, and it was #1 for TV dramas on iTunes, I
wow.
believe. Yeah, it's fucking really good. It's got three good-looking dudes that are gonna carry the chick vote, but the MMA realism, the storylines behind the MMA, the weight cutting, like the stuff like that get involved in the fights. Like I was drawn in. I thought it was really, really well done.
Okay, so earlier in the show, we talked about the great taco escape. The
Yes.
guy who said he was going to get tacos at Jack in the Box and just literally bounced. He just
Yeah.
his girlfriend, turned off his phone. Then he got tagged later on the night on Facebook, busted at the bar, totally busted. Okay, what is the craziest excuse, the craziest thing you've ever said to a girl to like bounce or get out of a situation or just to leave? Not even to go cheat on her, just to get the hell out of there.
Okay, the worst one ever was I was in college, and I actually got like caveated before I took her home to bang her. Like I took her home to bang her, and she was
Hey,
like,
this is talk about talk about this lady with some respect.
"Well, no, she wasn't a lady. She was a girl in college, so we're gonna leave it at that."
Okay.
But there wasn't many, so I'm sure if she is listening, she knows who she was. I'm just kidding.
It's like the one person. She's like, "You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!"
So like we're going back to my house, and she was like, "So if we do this, you're not gonna like make me go home at like 4:00 in the morning, are you?" I was like, no. And this is before cell phones. This is before any of this shit. This is like 95, 96. Go home. We do our business. Like literally 18 seconds later, I'm done. And I go,
This is before the dick pills, right?
oh yeah, this is at 4:30 in the morning too, in Cobleskill, New York. Fucking freezing snow outside. She goes, that was great or whatever. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I gotta go. She goes, what do you mean you got to go? I asked you if you're going to do this. And I'm like, my buddy just called. I got to go help him with his homework. And she looked at me and she goes, I'm going to like ignore the fact that the phone didn't ring and ignore the fact that it's 4:30 in the morning and that you're claiming you have to go do homework on a Friday night. But okay, go do your thing. That was the worst one ever, man.
It was her house or your house?
My house.
And you left her there or you kicked her out?
No, I made her leave.
Oh, gosh. And then where did you go? Pretend to leave or you just stayed home?
No, yeah, I went over to my friend's house and got high.
At 4:30 in the morning?
Oh, hell yeah. I had to go brag about getting laid, you know?
Yeah, I respect that. Or what about you, Adrian?
You know what? I been a nice guy. I've never left. I just usually, write it out.
Okay,
He
well, how about
cuddles.
this? What's
He
the
cuddles.
craziest thing you've ever done to escape your house to go see a girl?
I don't know if I've had a crazy story. I mean, I used to sneak out all the time, to go to raves and whatnot. Well, you used to sneak out, like there's a window, and then I snuck out, and then my friends would just come around, and it wasn't to go see a girl. We would just go out in parties, and back then it was much different than what it is now. You used to have to break into warehouses, and it was a very small group of people that that had DJs. That it wasn't like it is now, where you can just go to Ticketmaster and buy a ticket. Like, back then you would have to go to go to record store to get the next spot where you had to go. So you think you're buying your ticket at the record store, but then you end up going to some other crack house to get the next destination, and then finally after 3 stops, you finally get to the spot. Yeah.
Did you have to do like weird shit like bring a black egg to the record store? And then the record store, you bring them a black egg and they give you an envelope, and then you have to go to like McDonald's on 4th Street, order a Big Mac, and on the bottom of the Big Mac is like another fucking clue.
Wear a top hat from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, you know what the first clue is for me? Find something fucking else to do.
It wasn't a scavenger hunt, but I will say that there was one crazy event where they made us go inside U-Haul trucks. And then they
No way.
Yeah.
Like Party Monsters, that movie with Macaulay Culkin. They drive a U-Haul around and the party's in the U-Haul.
No. Our party was not in the U-Haul. Our party was we'd go to a spot, and then they would go, okay,
Get in the U-Haul.
get in the U-Haul if you want to go to the party.
In the back of a U-Haul? The party was in the U-Haul when
No,
they're driving
No,
around?
he was
no.
saying they take them in the like they go to a place.
Oh,
they
that's so
they go
sketchy.
get in the back of a
You're
U-Haul.
lucky that wasn't human trafficking, that you didn't wind up in Mexico as a sex slave.
Dude, did you ever? There's a website I saw. There's a website where this guy does that. He's like, he goes and picks up. I'm not agreeing
Dude,
with this.
in Australia,
I'm just
they found
saying.
40 dead
I'm
people
just
in the
saying.
U-Haul today.
I'm not saying it's funny. I'm just saying I laughed, and I'll probably go to hell for it. But there was this thing I saw on the internet where this guy goes to like a bunch of Home Depots, getting laborers because he needs help.
Oh my
for
God.
work.
Oh, the Amazing Racist with Ari Shafir?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And then he gets to like
My buddy-
Border Patrol and opens the back, and they
Oh yeah, that's Ari Shafir. Yeah.
My buddy is actually always is trying to hook us up with the producer of this podcast, the guy who manages him, but apparently we're too big for them, so they haven't had us yet.
All right, well then I didn't laugh.
Dude, everyone
Fuck
loves
them.
The Amazing Racist. That stuff's hilarious.
I didn't know what it's called, dude. I'm so stupid
Remember,
about this
he
shit.
actually tried to troll me
Yeah, he did.
outside of an event and tried to get me to say that I was gay for Anderson Silva or something weird about.
Well, no, he was promoting the UFC game at a Bellator event or Strikeforce event at the time.
You're right, it was Strikeforce,
Yeah,
before Zuffa owned it.
Yeah, we were at Strikeforce.
Who was this?
Ari Shafir was doing like a man on the street bit.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, but he was interviewing,
And we pretended not to know him because I was hoping to get on the show, and I was like, oh, yeah. Anderson Silva, I love the way his legs move and the way he just gets off on the other guy.
Oh, and he was trying to play you.
Yeah, he was trying to troll. But Ari Shafir is hilarious. I love it.
Yeah,
I
he's
love
a
his
funny
stuff.
dude.
I love his stuff.
He's a really
He is
funny
hilarious.
dude.
And he's a big advocate of mushrooms. I don't know if you guys know this, but he does like Shroomfest once a year.
Fuck that
Really?
shit.
Yeah,
dude.
You're a guy who takes big
Fuck.
full of shrooms.
You, dude. I've taken shrooms like 2 or 3 times. That shit is fucking wow, bro. I talked to my shoes for 7 hours.
But that's just shit.
7 hours. My fucking Pumas, my bright red Pumas. I shit you not. My friends back home in Babylon, New York will tell you that this is a true story. I found a great pair of Ray-Bans. No, they weren't Ray-Bans. They were Arnett sunglasses. And the whole time, the only reason I found them is because the whole night I couldn't stop staring at these brand new red Pumas that I got. They were fucking shell top and they were baller. They were real nice velvet and shit. And I was tripping on mushrooms, and the whole time I was just...
Talking to the...
He's acting it out,
Oh.
Aaron.
Let me describe it for you. Those of you listening to the MP3. Do it again. Hold on. Do it again while I talk it out.
We just got to do the play-by-play while
He's doing the full potato look where he's looking aimlessly, shaking his head, he's talking to his Puma right now. He's having a conversation with the shoe.
There you go.
They were so, dude. They're still to this day. Like every time I go to a shoe store, I look for those exact pair, and I never found it.
But it turns out like it was actually a pair of Converse.
But I can't fucking take mushrooms because after that, I woke up and I wouldn't say it was a bad trip, but I would say it was a trip that would say, don't ever fucking do it again, because if that made a right hand turn, it was really powerful, dude. It would have.
How many shrooms do you do? I mean, usually they're pretty
we
mild.
split like an eighth between two people. I guess I
not
don't know
bad.
if that's a lot, but
Well, they vary in strength. You never, it's just like weed. You don't know how strong some of them are.
oh my god, dude.
Speaking of shrooms and Quaaludes, or just drugs, I guess you would say, did you see in the news Derrick Rose is being accused of allegedly drugging his ex-girlfriend and then two of his friends going to her apartment with him and gang raping her?
Yeah,
Have
but
you heard-
did you
This
read
is-
the specifics on it though?
I didn't read the specifics, but what did you hear?
I don't know. Listen, and I'm saying it's all alleged, but it's like a 2-year-old beef. Again, it's like one of those beefs where
Well, she was embarrassed. Sometimes victims, they don't feel comfortable coming out right away, so I could see her.
you say embarrassed, I say it, and coincidentally,
Or
it's
scared. She was scared.
Okay, she was scared, but it's also coincidentally after she spoke to lawyers that she decided to file a lawsuit. So it's not like she went and said, I want to file a lawsuit because this guy fucking raped me. She went and talked to lawyers, and then she decided to file the lawsuit 2 years later. So to me, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying it just doesn't sound. It doesn't sound like it's fucking.
By the way, this sounds like the Bill Cosby defense when the first rumor came out.
If she is lying, then that sucks. But either way, I don't want to. We're making a joke of it, but if she is a victim, it's not funny.
No,
does
it
suck.
sucks, dude. It
And
sucks.
there's going to be major ramifications. This is the end of his career if it's true. This isn't like a Kobe thing where, some woman says, "Oh yeah, he forced me to have sex." This is being accused of drugging someone and gang raping her.
Gang raping her?
Yeah,
It was him and two friends.
Two of his friends were.
And she
Derrick Rose?
realized that she was being drugged, and she
They were
goes,
running
"Oh,
a triangle
fuck." She
offense
goes-
on her.
She goes, "Fuck this." That was funny, even though it was wrong. That was funny though. Too soon. So listen, Adrian. They
Allegedly.
say- So hold on. She says, I allegedly see them drugging me. Fuck this. And she escapes. She argues with them. She gets out of there, goes home. They show up at her condo or apartment a few hours later when she's under the influence, bars their way in, and gang rape her, she claims.
Wow.
But who knows to the authenticity of the claims and the rumors? Who knows?
That's a serious accusation.
And let me
Yeah,
point,
yeah, it's a major accusation.
Let me point something else out as a Knicks fan. All right, Derrick Rose's career was over when his fucking knees blew up on him. All right, that guy's done anyway. So go Knicks.
Yeah,
What are you talking about? He's not over. He's not done
He
yet.
just had a great season.
Go
I
Knicks.
think that Bronco kind of botched the joke there. When he said, Derrick Rose didn't do it because he would have torn an ACL trying to have sex with her, but
He
anyways,
probably
he
would
tried.
have. The guy's more fragile than glass.
Oh, so anyways, talking about crazy escapes. I mean, I've had too many to name, but I do the Irish goodbye a lot, just where I disappear. They call me Houdini.
What's
where
the Irish goodbye? I'm
I
Irish.
just, I just don't say bye. I just disappear. I just
Oh, okay, you just
yeah. They call me Houdini.
drop mic.
Wait, why's it got to be Irish?
Yeah, why do you gotta fucking make fun of us mix?
It might be called the Black Irish Goodbye. I don't know. I saw it
Whoa.
on. No, that show, this hilarious show with the two women.
Why are you
on after
grabbing
Workaholics?
your microphone when I'm making Irish comments?
There's a show. Those two girls are hilarious after Workaholics. What is that show called?
Broad City.
Yes.
Yes, those two.
So one of the
Great.
girls, Alana, she dates the black guy. What's his name? Cannibal, the guy who outed Bill
Not
Cosby.
Hannibal.
Hannibal
Buress.
Lecter, whatever.
The guy that eats people?
Okay, you guys know the
Bill Cosby?
Hannibal is this hilarious black comedian, the guy who outed Bill Cosby. And Alana, the
No,
Jewish
I like
girl,
Cannibal. Go with Cannibal.
She dates the cannibal guy, Black Cannibal, and they're talking. The three of them are walking on the street, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Whoa, where the hell did he go?" And she goes, "No, don't worry, that's just a black Irish goodbye." And she's like, "What the hell?" And she goes, "No, that's just what they do. They just disappear."
That's funny as shit. I've done that many times, but I usually do it for a reason. It's like
You
I
know-
gotta puke, or I gotta take a dump, or
That's something
I got
I never
diarrhea.
do. I try to always say goodbye, at least to people are close by. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's just the way I raised. You know what's funny? Even when I do photography at events and whatnot, whoever hires me, I always make sure to say goodbye before I leave, and make sure that if they have any questions and whatnot. It's just I don't know what it is. I know people who do it, and they do it for multiple.
I have anxiety, just social anxiety. I hate saying goodbye.
Yeah,
so
for different reasons. Yeah.
I just like to. I honestly just leave.
Boy, Adrian, such a polite boy.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know.
Me and Aaron are like, fuck you, we out.
Yeah.
I just pretend I just usually wait for them to go to the bathroom or use the bathroom, and when they come back, I'm fully dressed, and they're like, "Whoa, where are you going?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm out of here."
Yeah.
I'm
The
gone.
only time I don't do it is if the person is really busy, so I just leave. That's the only time. But even then, it's.
Yeah, but did you have to escape the other night? I thought you had a good date the other night.
Oh, which one?
The really hot girl.
Yeah, right. Which one? I did a lot of girls, but they're not
the
always.
girl that you were best for.
Oh God, the one in the car.
Yeah,
Oh
the one
my
that
God.
fucking
I go on
almost
a lot of
killed you.
dates,
That
yeah.
you were texting me and Adrian.
Oh Jesus
trying to sleep.
Christ! Holy shit! Oh my God.
She sounded exotic, by the way.
Oh yeah, she is hot, but she's crazier than fuck.
Well,
She's too crazy for me.
That's
I like crazy girls. This girl's too crazy.
But that's good though.
So
Dude, I know she's
driving,
crazy
right?
when your texts start coming in with like Jesus Christ and Christian prayers in it, and I'm like, damn.
Okay,
she made
so-
this Jewish guy go Christian. She's fucking scared shitless.
She says I'll drive, so I show up because it's a long drive to meet her. I show up. We've hung out a few times, but never driven together. She drives. This woman, she's Middle Eastern, same ethnicity as my brother-in-law, who can't drive worth a freaking shit. He's crashed 2 of my dad's cars. He's crashed all of his cars. He's crashed my sister's car. He's been pulled over every time you can imagine.
Really?
They can't drive worth shit. So this girl, she's going 60, 70 miles per hour in a 35. She's swerving,
What?
not using turn signals. She's like, oh, my lights are off. And so I started taping it, and I sent you guys a video, and you could hear her. She's like, oh, am I driving fast? And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
The
hit
lights were
brakes.
off. I thought you were like sent us like a video by accident.
No,
You
I was
can't see
tripping
shit.
fucking balls. I was telling her, like, what the fuck? Lady, settle down. Like, she goes, oh, are you okay? Sorry if I'm getting loud, but I was scared for my fucking life.
I know you were because you were sending us texts like make sure you hear from me when I get there.
Yeah.
No, in all seriousness, she
That
was
was
the
funny.
worst fucking driver. And then I said something
Well,
about
obviously you got there safe.
well, yeah, obviously we still the deal after, but so anyway.
Yeah,
so,
now we're
but-
talking.
But so
Yeah.
I said to her, yeah, you're like my brother-in-law who can't drive worth shit either. And she goes, oh, you a racist? You a racist? You think we all drive the same? We all can't drive now? You racist?
You know
And
what?
I'm like, you
That's
can't take a
not-
fucking joke.
That's not racism.
That's
That's-
exactly how she sounded, by the way. That's
Dude, she is beautiful, by the way, but man, she
You gonna
was pretty
revisit?
good.
You gonna revisit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've already moved on, kind of, but I forgot because that's why I thought you were talking about someone from the other night.
True player over here. True player.
Well, hey, I like to date a lot, but I'm just not the boyfriend material. So I like to date a lot, like to have fun, but I'm open and honest about it at least. Well, yeah, you guys are married. You
me
guys
and
are stuck.
Adrian live vicariously through Aaron because we're
Yeah.
both.
For some reason, all my friends
Fortunately
live
married.
vicariously through me because I don't like to talk about this stuff, so I don't mention names. But whenever Adrian has a group of people over, they always want to ask me questions. And my other friends, they always say the same thing who are married. We live vicariously through you. When I'm just doing the same thing that you guys were doing before you were married, and now I'm the one doing the same thing. It's just I matured lately, I guess.
So you're running around with glow sticks in your mouth, sitting at your home by yourself playing video games.
Hey,
'Cause
Adrian
I
had
sat
a good
at-
woman. Are you
I
denying
sat at
that?
home by myself playing video games, and Adrian ran around with glow sticks in his mouth. So is that what you're doing?
No, I'm saying 15 years ago when you guys were running around doing fun, crazy stuff. Now I'm doing it. I'm a late bloomer.
I was always a homeboy.
Hey, let's get into the medical marijuana of the week. Do you want?
Oh yeah.
Here you go.
Okay.
So tell us, what's the name of the strain? Where'd you get it? Where can we get it? What do you rate it out of a 10? Is it an indica, sativa? What are the genetics?
It is a indica dominant strain. It's become known as cookies or Girl Scout cookies. I believe it comes from the Granddaddy Purple lineage. It's a pretty strong smelling. It doesn't really have a citrus smell to it, but it definitely smells like pure marijuana. Starts off really strong, has a nice kind of like a dry finish to it, and it affects you really heavy. If you tuned into before every podcast, I do a little quick thing on Periscope where I'm actually testing out the strain of the month or strain of the week, and so I tested it out outside the studio, and it's really strong. I felt it right away. It hits you right behind the eyes. The feeling I like. I got it at VMC Venice Medical Center. Again, they're one of our sponsors on Venice Boulevard in Venice, California, or in actually Los Angeles. And it's again, it's called Cookies, and it's from VMC on Venice Boulevard. I'll give it over to Adrian so he can
We can shoot the video of it after the show if it's not set up right now.
You want to take a look at it, Aaron? Smell this stuff.
Well, I'm saying we
I
can
know you
shoot
don't. You're not big into.
Okay, I guess Adrian's gonna get the camera. Has the camera set up here. So the screen just went blank, but I think it's a screensaver.
Hey,
Well, tell us how did it make you feel? Like, because I know you.
There's a little bit in here. I know you're not big into weed, but smell it.
Okay, I'll take a whiff.
And Adrian, I'll
Ooh,
give
interesting.
you
It smells pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so people who don't know about your history, I don't want to obviously put your medical history out there because it's no one's business. But you have a disability with one of your legs.
Yeah.
It was something where you were injured at work, and anyone who ever sees you, it's pretty damn obvious you have a fucked up leg. No offense, I know I could bust your balls sometimes, but you walk with a horrible limp.
Yeah, it's,
so
I don't mind talking about it.
Well, but how does this help your leg? Because we're not here promoting. Oh yeah, here this is. If you want to go get stoned, get this. We're talking about medical marijuana here. So tell us, how does this help you with your leg? Because I know you text me, you're on all these meds, your leg's all fucked up, you have a horrible limp. We've had lunch the other day, and after lunch, you couldn't even get out of the booth.
Yeah, well, it's weird. I have I slipped and fell, broke a couple bones in my feet, and long story short, I did severe damage to the peroneal nerve at the fibular head of my leg. So I had surgery to clear out a bunch of scar tissue, and unfortunately, as a result of the surgery, I get a bad click in my knee. And when I get that, I get a burning, I get what's called neuropathy is the technical term. It's a nerve pain. Basically feels like if you've ever fell on your hip, you ever get that burn when you fall straight on your hip?
I get sciatic nerve issues sometimes from going to the gym and just laying on my heels.
It's like that. My foot is completely numb all the time, but I get that burning pain down my leg. And I also suffer from restless leg syndrome, which at night prevents me from sleeping. So
really?
Yeah. So if I don't wear a sock when I'm in bed, if it's cold, right now it's fucking 3,000 degrees, but if it's cold out, my wife will wake up when my foot touches her because my foot's ice cold. And my leg moves when I sleep. It twitches, kind of like it's got palsy, like a palsy spasm type thing, you know? And it wakes me up, keeps me up. And
you have that in your face too, right?
No, dick.
Oh, my bad.
So anyway, the problem with that is the medication that they use to fix it's usually really heavy duty. So I don't like taking narcotics. They fuck me up too bad. So I found medical marijuana actually conveniently.
That wasn't the live shot.
No. I'm going to go ahead and put the live shot on now so you can see the strange.
We're going to do it live.
We're going to do it live.
We'll do it live, like Bill Riley would say.
Our audio visual producer, the Mad Hatter. This episode has basically, in my opinion, this episode is our Buffalo, not Buffalo Bill. It's our Fear and Loathing in Long Beach. It is so fucking humid and hot in here.
It is.
That I feel like I'm
on those mushrooms we were talking about.
Oh yeah, between the light, I love the way that. Oh wow, look at this beautiful shot by Adrian right here on the screen.
Look at that.
If you're listening on SoundCloud or
how
iTunes,
can you guys
you're
not like to
missing-
smoke that? Like, doesn't that just say? Yo,
It's not. No, it's believe me, I'm a huge medical marijuana advocate for other people who want to use. It's just personally, sometimes not all of us
Makes you
have
feel
an
potato?
issue. No, it's just you know how it is. But I'm definitely an advocate for people who want to use it for medical reasons. That's for damn sure. And once
This is the sponsor, I believe, Venice Medical Group, right?
Yeah,
Venice Medical Center, VMC.
Venice Medical Center.
They have been so generous.
Oh man, they're
Look
awesome.
at this beautiful artwork. And can you show the other side of the label? And last time, give us your rating on a 1 to 10 because I saw you try this before the show, and you were like, "Holy shit, this was like stronger than the wax almost." Like
Yeah, it's really strong. I would say that it's not as strong as the Payaso Whitefire OG. That's still the 11 is still the number one so far, but it is stronger than the Paris OG.
Wow.
I don't think it lasts as long, but I think it hits harder right away.
Would you recommend this?
Yes, I would. I recommend anything that's over a 7.5. 7.5 makes me feel better
And what did
makes
you
me
give
out
this
of pain.
one?
I give this one an 8. 8. I'm giving this one an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it starts
Is
off
that
stronger.
because of the way the grooming is? That it's just kind of is dense. It's not as. It's just the way it's manicured. The way it looks.
A little bit as far as the usability of it, but for this one, like I felt it right away. You noticed it on me right away. I looked like I was stoned out of my mind.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
but-
"What is wrong with this
But
guy?"
15 minutes later, I felt a little bit like
Feeling
I
good,
hadn't been
feeling
medicated at all. So
Okay.
it's not as long lasting as the Paris OG, but it hits you harder at first. So I'd say it's a little bit less than the Paris. Overall on a scale, I would say it's about an 8.
Okay, well, thanks for that review, Clint. We really appreciate it. And
Thank you from Venice Medical Center. And if you guys want to go over there. Ask for Maj. My man Maj will hook you up over there. He's got more knowledge than pretty much anybody in the business. So,
and we just once again want to always mention, like we do, I forgot to with the beer of the week earlier, that if you are of age where you live, please drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive. And if you are, I guess, of age and have a prescription or it's legal where you live, please use the medical marijuana responsibly. Don't medicate and drive. We just want to get that out there. We're not trying to be buzzkills. Believe me, have fun, party your ass off, enjoy yourself. Just don't get in the car afterwards.
yeah, man, don't mess around with that stuff. You can really get hurt. You can hurt somebody else.
Okay, well, we only have a few minutes left, so I just want to touch on just a few more things. Last week, we actually got cut off early during the middle of an interview with porn director and porn star Joanna Angel. God damn, was she well-educated and well-spoken. It's hard. I can't masturbate to her anymore because...
Oh, I can.
Well, now I respect her. Like, obviously, that's why I think I was so tired during that show, because I went to her website and watched all the videos just to do research and, lost all my testosterone. My nutsack got emptied. But now it's like I know she probably thinks I'm a loser, doesn't care about me, but I think of her as a friend, like, where she's a businesswoman, she's smart, she's an entrepreneur, she's someone I would like to hang out with.
Well, see, this is...
But then probably put my, what inside of her.
This is very telling between Aaron and Jonathan right now, because beforehand I didn't know who she was, wasn't really interested, But then I heard her speak, and I looked her up on the internet, and I'm like, damn, dude, that's like, she's freaking super hot. Now that I find she's intellectual, I'm like, I want that. You know what I mean?
You just like her because she's from New York.
No,
and she's a
dude,
Jew. You want that Jewish New York blood.
I don't care what religion you are. I'm a Roman Catholic. I don't care about that shit. But
then why do you marry a white woman with blue eyes and blonde hair?
I married an Asian woman. What the fuck are you talking about?
I know, I'm playing with you, bro.
But no, as soon as she turned out to be intellectual, dude, freaking...
That's a turn on for me.
From 6 to 12, bro. Like, whoop.
Do you know what's a bummer? We need to get on the girl who played Misha Taint. Because
Taint?
now that Misha
yeah.
isn't in the title fight, does Misha Taint lose the press and publicity? Does her whack off, potentially go from a 10 to a 7?
I don't know, but I think Holly Homeless is somewhere in the mix.
They find someone with a big jug head. It looks like
no, she's
rough,
like a street.
Traps.
She's a Joanna. If you're listening, I'm gonna write this one for you. She's a street tough minx who doesn't mess around. She doesn't have a house. She learned how to fight on the streets, homeless homes.
Okay. Before I bust your balls, before I bust your balls with one last story, I'm gonna let you guys bust my balls real quick, but keep it a little bit private for the most part. Don't get too crazy.
What's this?
We cut out on the show last week, and it's only fair since I bust your balls, you can bust mine. None of this got recorded. Tapatio. Okay, talking about threesomes and wingman, we had Joanna Angel on, so we were thinking, about threesomes. How would she help someone pull a threesome? I was in a situation a few weeks ago with two beautiful, to me, let's keep it nice, polite, two beautiful Latino women, Hispanic women. So what do? I text the only Latino Hispanic guy I trust, one of my best friends, the Mad Hatter, Adrian Gallegos, thinking, if you're going to get laid with two Mexicans, you text your Mexican raver friend. So he tells me, oh, yeah, I got you covered. This is awesome. I got you covered. He texts back, one word, Tapatio.
Well, no, hold on. To be fair,
one word.
This is
Tapatio.
Hold on. Actually, I don't think Adrian, in his defense, I don't think he picked up on the desperation in the text that you sent.
No,
I did. I could see it in the writing on the phone.
Well, why do you invite a guy over at midnight and then your friends there with fake breast and they want to hang out and chill?
What you asked was,
you're not gonna let me see those tits?
What you asked was, Adrian, I'm here with two of your people. Basically.
Yes.
How can I close the deal? Please help me.
I was desperate.
Yeah. And Adrian dropped.
Wait.
And Adrian dropped. And I wasn't much support because I think I responded with LOL or ha 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 ha.
You responded with she looks like fucking Fonzie the Bear, some bullshit.
You sent me a text of a fucking up close, upside down picture of a thigh.
Adrian says
in a camel colored dress.
Adrian says,
and I was like, is that Fonzie the Bear?
Okay,
who is that?
Rules are rules. Adrian says pics are bullshit, so I fucking had to send a pic. You can't make fun of me. No.
Pic, so. Well, first of all, but you didn't take a pic of something that you could see. It was like, from her knee to her dress end on her.
It was just sending verification proof I was in that situation.
Oh, that's a
two women there.
That's a sexy kneecap right there.
He was just trying to get sneaking in. But to be fair, I number one, first of all, I was wasted. I was drunk at a bar.
He fails. He doesn't mention this before he texts me advice.
Second of all, he sends me this text, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm not sure how serious he is. So, like John's mentioned,
If I text you code red at 1 a.m., I'm with two Mexicans trying to get a threesome. You're my only Mexican help.
I always respond in jest, and my
I
response,
should get the actual text on the phone.
Don't.
my response was,
One word, ... Tapatio.
Tapatio.
I was at a restaurant, and that's the first thing I saw on the table was a bottle of Tapatio. So, of course, me thinking that Aaron knows what Tapatio is, I think he would know that was a joke. But apparently, Aaron doesn't know that Tapatio is a Mexican hot sauce. At every
Taco sauce, not even...
it's hot. No, it's just hot
Well,
sauce.
whatever. She called it a taco sauce.
Well, maybe that's what they wanted. Maybe they wanted tacos. Maybe he had to sneak out to go get tacos for them.
So basically, Aaron rolls up and does like the freaking Eddie Murphy version of with the overweight girl, where Eddie Murphy comes and goes, "I've got fudge." Aaron just comes in with a bottle of Tapatio and goes, "Hey, ladies, what do you think?"
No. I just started whispering. I started rubbing her leg and looking at her friend and going, "Tapatio, huh?" And she goes, "Huh?" And I go, "Tapatio." And she goes, "What the fuck are you saying?" I'm like, Tapatio. And she goes, "You mean tapio? How do you say it, Adrian?
What did you think it meant?
How do you say it, Adrian?
What did you
Hold
think
on. How do you say it? She said it the real way.
Tapatio.
Yeah, she goes, Tapatio. I'm like, yeah, Tapatio,
what
baby.
did you think it meant?
I thought it meant I'm trying to get laid. So she goes, I have Crohn's disease and can't have any spicy stuff, so I don't eat hot sauce. So she goes, "You mean Tapatio?" And I go, "Yeah, Tapatio." And then she's like, "Are you hungry?" I'm like, "No." And she goes, "Well, then why do you keep asking me for taco sauce?" And I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Tapatio. That's on the table, the Mexican hot sauce." And I'm like, "God damn it, Adrian! God damn it!"
How did you caveat that? How did you fix it?
I just fucking said my.
They didn't laugh though. That was not.
She did. She thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
but then I
Did you drop it like, "Oh, my fucking friends"? Did you?
Yeah,
like,
I blamed on Adrian. I said I'll be honest. I texted my
good.
friend asking how to.
Yeah, it's good.
how to seal a deal with two Mexican
No,
girls?
just with her.
Yeah,
Because
that's
me and
good.
her have already known each other for a long time and are cool and whatever. But when she invites me over at around 1 a.m. and I show up and her friends there and they're partying, I didn't know what to do.
First of
I
all-
thought it was a setup.
This is a perfect time for another public service announcement, ladies. If you meet a guy at the bar, and you guys are drinking, and it's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, don't invite him back to your house unless you want sex.
Right.
Well, first of all,
If you're in need of an escort, state that immediately and make that fucking unmistakably clear. We're not fucking, I just need you to get me home. Then he'll do it. But public service announcement, you heard it here.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. This guy's full potato. First of all, I've known her for like a long time, and she called me and invited me over. We were never at a bar. Like she.
Oh,
so
she just fucking cold called you at
yes.
midnight?
She fucking called. She texted me at midnight. I haven't seen her for 4 months, and she goes, "Hey,
Public
what are you
serv-
doing tonight?" And I'm like, "What are you doing?" She goes, "I'm chilling, having drinks, hanging out." And I'm like, she goes, "Do you want to meet up?" I'm like, "Yeah." Where? And she goes, "Where?" I said, "How about your house?" And she goes, "Come on over." So I fucking showed up at her house, and she was already blitzed, and she was with her friend was there.
Part B of the public service announcement, a cold call in the same situation to instigate it is like 10 times
Dude,
worse.
I'm not going to take a random drunk girl home from the bar. I am a gentleman, but when it's on green light,
You won't take a random drunk girl home? What if she's
no,
really,
I'm not
really
going to jail
hot?
for some Bill Cosby shit. By
What if she's
accident.
really, really hot?
If I trust her, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna risk my life on some hood rat or some bitch like skank trying to.
She's
ruin my life.
wearing like a black T-shirt that says like Hanish versus True.
What if it's Joanna Angel? What if it's Joanna Angel drunk at the bar?
Oh yeah, of course, Joanna Angel
Yeah.
or Jessie Jane, like one of the. Of course.
Oh, I can't wait to meet her.
Man, I wish she was on the show tonight. Okay, so it gets worse though. It gets worse. You forgot to mention this part last week that you got cut out, but then Adrian texted me when I said that didn't work. He goes, "Tell them you're famous and show them the video of you and Ronda Rousey on ESPN."
So you showed them a picture of a girl dropping you on her balls.
It gets worse. The next day, when I'm hoping to God, like, none of this ever happened and I don't want to ever talk to them again, like, they'll never call me again.
No.
She starts texting me, "Hey, send me a link to that Ronda Rousey video. I'm hanging out with my family. I want to show my family the video."
Oh my God. You even told me that.
Yeah, I know. I mentioned I didn't tell you that part. So I
Just
told
tell them,
them,
be like, make sure they each
No, I
click
said I
it
like
500
my-
times so I get
said
paid
like
for
my,
it.
I
you
said I
know?
like my privacy and I'm not sending you any links and respect my privacy. And she kept texting, asking, and I said, you know what, the last 5 hours you bugging me. You could have fucking went on Google and typed in Ronda Rousey beats a guy up and found the video in 10 seconds.
Just go on YouTube. It's only got like fucking 5 million views.
Yeah, seriously.
Jesus.
Oh my God, should we do the old English thing or save that for another show?
Oh yeah.
Or do you want to save it?
Do you have any of them for me?
I don't think we have it. We didn't tell Adrian about this. Any stupid MMA quote you say, he repeats it back as an English person.
I'll give an example.
Okay.
Give me the one Tito one.
Okay.
What was it again?
Let me tell you how you're feeling tonight.
Oh, who is it? Fedor?
When he was interviewing Fedor.
Yeah.
Fedor just won the fight. Fedor, let me tell you how you're feeling tonight.
Okay. Tito Ortiz as an old English gentleman. Fedor, let me tell you how you are feeling tonight.
Okay, Ken Shamrock in the Tito Ortiz press conference. I'm going to beat you into a living death.
Ken Shamrock as an old English gentleman. Tito, I am going to beat you into the living death.
Okay.
How did this come up?
We were talking on the phone, and he brought up, somehow it came up like, dude, you got to look up, like, what was, you said there's like a whole link of a whole bunch of old Tito.
Oh yeah, he said, you know what makes me feel better he was having a bad day and he goes, what makes me feel better is when I pull up an old video of Tito and I go,
That's what it was,
the video of Affliction where he can't announce, and it was a different video.
Yeah, it was a different one.
And
yeah.
so then we started talking about, and I told him, can you do an old English voice? We were talking about fake voices or some crap, and it just came up. So another one, real quick, last one. Phil Baroni cornering Mark Coleman. You're the best. You're a fucking legend.
Oh, actually, I have a better one than that. Can I do 2 Phil Baronis real quick? Okay. The first Phil Baroni is, Mark, you are a fucking legend. A legend. And the other one was one of the best questions. Shout out to Bob Fisher and John Walsh. They were there for this one. The best question I ever asked Phil Baroni. I said, Phil, now that you're down at 155 pounds, who's next on the hit list for you? John, let me tell you this. The hit list is intergalacticable.
Okay.
Intergalacticable. I want to try like a whole fucking podcast like that. That'd be fun.
Gosh. Justin Wren.
Oh, our boys fighting, yeah.
Dude, he posted a video of him shadowboxing at Trevor Whitman's academy, and I was thinking, okay, this guy's going to be fat, he's going to be out of shape, he's going to be slow. He looked like a fucking ballerina.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight.
He looked, but no, just in terms of how fast and light.
Oh, really?
Oh, my God, he looks fucking good. He looked light, he looked fast.
I'm a little bit nervous for him because I heard he only trained like a couple months.
It's true, that is true, but he's a national champion wrestler, which I think he can fall back on. But he's fighting, the guy he's fighting, coincidentally, I'm friends with on Facebook and I've followed him and always see his post. He's fighting a freaking monster. This guy named Josh Burns.
He
guy's
throws
huge.
major hooks, dude. The guy just comes out throwing bombs. I don't think he has a jab in his arsenal.
He had to cut to 264.5.
Oh my God, really?
He's a fucking monster.
Monster.
He doesn't pass the smell test.
He looks like
for
Tensai,
USADA.
like Prince Albert in
Well,
WWE.
if that's the
He's
case,
huge.
I really, really hope that Justin just takes him down.
Exactly,
and
just
him, right?
yeah.
Can I
we're
make a
all
point real
obviously, I
quick
think
about
we're all-
Justin Wren?
Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna have a check. Tomorrow we're gonna give a check to Justin at the fights.
I don't know if
from
you guys
us.
have noticed, but he's been on like a whole bunch of podcasts. Joe Rogan.
He's on this
he was on
media tour.
MSNBC.
That's why I had to book him
But we had
early.
him. I think we had him first.
We had him first
Yeah,
because
brutally honest.
this week he was on Joe Rogan, Fighter and the Kid, ABC, NBC. He
yep.
released his book.
Yeah.
He's been on, I think, Helwani show, like literally everything, Spike TV.
And it's not because of us guys. It's because he's probably
Oh,
one.
he
He's
already
the
had all
most
that shit
interesting.
planned.
He's the
Yeah.
most interesting fucking dude in MMA
Just
right
'cause
now.
he's an
and
overall
a
incredible
great,
guy.
great dude.
Okay, so we didn't talk about the brawl backstage, but who cares?
what brawl
I'm over
backstage?
it with at Bellator, but who cares? So anyways,
Oh, yeah, that
'cause
was
they didn't
kinda
even
good.
want to publicize it really. So anyways, Melvin Gillard against Grills. Oh my gosh. Man, Melvin Gillard, I know that you jokingly call him Chinny LaRue, and he has had his ups and downs, but as Joe Stevenson said, if you get the right Melvin Gillard, man, I'm just a fan of Melvin Gillard. I want him to win every time, so I want to see him get a knockout, but I wouldn't bet money on him. Not in the heart. I would never bet a cent on him.
Aaron, you might want to cut this for the next show. I'm going to go with Chinny LaRue just because he made weight.
Yeah, he
And that's
didn't
a
have a
big
problem
sign.
making weight. Yeah.
I think that's going to make,
Yeah.
I think.
And I don't think Bellator is going to put him in there with someone that they think is going to beat him because they have money invested in him.
True.
So he'll probably win
And-
this fight. But and my listen, dude, he's a good fighter. He chucks bombs, and like Joe said, when he shows up, he could be good or he could be bad. I just, like you said, I have a hard time betting on a guy like him or a guy like Overeem, guys that are kind of wandering between camps. They don't really have a home.
Exactly.
I have a hard time betting on a guy who doesn't have a solid base as far as training.
Yeah. With Melvin, you just don't know what you're going to get. And some interesting stuff. Did you see Ali Abib? What's the name of the guy from World Series of Fighting?
Ali.
Did you hear what he said about Melvin Gillard? He was dropping bombs.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Apparently, he sparred with him over at
Jackson's.
Right. Yeah. And apparently, he's a wrestler, the VP. So he was able to take him down at will. Like he said, he could beat Melvin in the gym. He's beating him.
He said Melvin will never be a champion of fighting. Melvin's a champion of tapping. And he also said Melvin misses weight. He's a pain in the ass to deal with. He just doesn't show up. I mean, he really, really assassinated the character.
I agree with like a lot of the things he said there, except for one thing. Melvin would beat the
gonna
living
kick your
shit
ass.
out of Melvin would beat the shit out of Ali in a fight. Melvin would beat the shit out of Ali in a fight.
Apparently, Ali tapped him out a bunch of times.
He even said
Ali's a badass. I'm not saying I could beat Ali's ass. Ali would fucking destroy me. But
I would have him in studio to fight you.
No, thank you. I'm fucking permanently injured. Ali's a badass, like I'm saying, but Melvin Gillard is a certified fucking badass 300 times over. You know, he's gonna up against another top 155-pound fighter. I don't give Melvin Gillard much of a chance. Up against Ali, vice president of World Series of Fighting, I give him the odds.
Okay. Also, we have Saad against
Patricky.
The Pitbull. So this is a fight that has title implications. The winner of this fight, I think, is going to get the 155 title shot.
Yeah, they get ill will.
Yeah. So what do you think about that fight? What's your quick breakdown of it?
It's one of those fights that's going to go whoever touches the button first. There's a lot of animosity in this fight. They don't like each other. They fucking hate each other. I think Saad and Pitbull's brother hate each other even more. I think everybody hates Patricio right now. I fucking love the guy. He's awesome. I'm staying away from this fight on all bets. I don't want to bet any money on this fight because
I'm just hoping for a good fight. Anytime Patricky or any Pitbull fights, I think it's a fun fight. And I just like the Bellator product in the show, and I'm just happy to see good fights.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited to see. This is a good fight. I don't know. Again, it's just hard for me to pick because I'm a fan of both of them. You know.
Well, Patricky's coming off a loss, I believe, but Saad's coming off a couple wins. He's on a win streak.
It's like saying if you're in the water and the lightning bolt hits you, it's like what's going to get you? The lightning bolt going to kill you or the electricity going to kill you? It doesn't fucking matter. You're dead. You know, there's going to be a knockout in the fight. You know, someone's going to touch somebody. Right. It's just too hard. It's too erratic to predict. It's like lightning. You
exactly.
Know, it's like
I'm hoping Patricky doesn't try to play it safe because of his title implications, but that's not his style.
Yeah.
And then lastly, in that Marloes Conan's on the undercard.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't see that.
So we'll see her tomorrow night.
Johnny Cisneros on the undercard should be a good card.
Yeah, buddy Johnny from Jokers.
Yeah. There's a bunch of guys on local guys on that card.
Back to world champion, famous,
AJ Matthews.
big time.
AJ Matthews.
Stop fucking trolling me. We're talking about Marloes Conan. We're talking about
AJ Matthews is really a good fighter, man.
Yeah,
I know, and AJ McKee's on the card too. But come on, let's show Marloes.
Oh, and McKee's on that card too.
Yeah.
AJ, his son.
No, I know he's an up and comer. I'm excited about that kid.
Okay, and I can't believe they didn't let you into the event. Look in the camera and smile real quick. No, give him just here. Can you make sure he's in focus?
Well, I can't get too mad because I did apply late.
Hold on, let's just look at the camera and give him the puppy dog eyes real quick.
But I will do this.
Look at this face. You're telling me that you don't want this guy covering the sport. This guy is a freaking ringside commentator. Look at this puppy dog eyes right here.
I'm also in your press kit.
He's a press kid. He's a star of a TV show Kingdom. But
what the?
He's the star of the TV show Kingdom.
Fight judge number 1 on one episode.
But you were a featured extra. You got paid as a featured extra.
I was a featured. I was not just an extra. I was a featured. I got M-nighted.
You're like Dan the Wolfman. You'll be living off that residual the rest of your life.
Please.
But joking aside,
I can only hope to be.
You're a TV star. You're a bona fide star. You're bona fide. Totally bona fide.
Bona fide, full of shit.
You're totally bona fide TV star.
Bona fide late on rent.
Okay, so anyways, back to Marloes Conan.
Yeah.
She's like 22-6 or something like that. Her record is incredible. She is a big name for women. She's a prize fighter.
She's fighting a girl that's 6-4.
I know. Well, they don't have a lot of competition in the
It's like
division.
4
They're trying to
girls in
build her
that
up.
whole division.
I think Marloes is coming off of one win, but she lost to Cyborg a few fights ago. Who cares who she fights? We just want to see her fight. And until they get bigger name, develop
Right.
more talent, that's all they have for her.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. I don't know if you know the answer to this, Aaron, or even John, but do you know if Invicta has contracts where you can only fight for Invicta? You can't fight any of
It's
them?
I think Invicta and
UFC.
Zuffa, but you can get written permission because maybe she got released by Invicta, but Nicodoli Coletti, she's fighting for some Spanish organization coming up. But I believe that they might have a thing where they'll let you do it, but I don't know anymore because I think they're in a Zuffa. We should try to find out about that.
Yeah, because I'm curious why Chris Cyborg isn't fighting for Bellator, you know?
I'm not
Well,
sure,
'cause
but
Chris Cyborg signed under Zuffa. She
she's
has
got a
different
Zuffa contract, not an Invicta contract. She's a Zuffa fighter. She's got the same
Cyborg's
deals.
making cheddar. She got 90, or she got up the last fight. She made like $100,000. People give Cyborg shit about Tito saying he fucked up her career and stuff. She made $40,000, I think, for the Gina Carano fight. Had to give like 20% to Shoot a Box, 10% to a manager, taxes, her husband thing, the whole bullshit with that or whatever.
Right.
She made nothing. She lost money pretty much to beat Gina Carano.
I was looking at
So
her.
I think she deserves every fucking cent she gets.
She does. She deserves to get paid like a top fighter.
Right.
But as far as Tito's management goes, looking at her career and her last few fights and stuff like that, she could have been a lot busier than she was.
She made more in those last 2 fights than she did her entire career before that, and she's living more comfortably now than she ever has before.
But she could have had 6 fights in that same time period.
How?
Who's she going to fight?
Who's she gonna fight?
Yeah.
If she was,
And then also
I'm just saying, if she was represented and able to, I don't know. Tito's got a lot of enemies, especially at the top of the food chain.
She's,
you know,
including Muay Thai, she's fought like 5 times in the last 2
yeah,
years.
she's
Yeah.
pretty busy. And then also you got to read.
did she make any money at Lion Fight?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You also you got to keep in mind that she got popped for steroids, and that was some of the.
Well,
the
it was a
time.
cutting agent, and I'm not gonna bring that up because Adrian was there a few days before she got busted, giving her advice.
Yeah, she asked me.
Why would you give her? Now looking, and
She
you
tested
actually-
positive for Gallegos.
No, she was
For
cutting weight.
Mexican
Adrian's,
supplements.
yeah, Adrian's
Blue
like,
bombs.
Adrian's like, oh, you know what works for me? He goes, I don't know if this is legal or not.
No,
but-
no, this is exactly what happened. You know, Chris is a very, very nice person, and the thing is, she's very trusting. Okay, and at the time, I was competing in jiu-jitsu. I think I was a white belt. 'Cause that's how long ago it was. Anyways, she was cutting weight, and I was telling her, oh, I'm in the same phase. I'm in the same week. We're both cutting weight at the same time, and so she started asking me how I was doing it. So I told her told her what I was doing, and all the stuff I was using was over at GNC or whatever, your vitamin store. The thing is, one of the things I was using was called a water pill, okay? And what it's used for is to cut water weight, right? And it's actually for females when they're on their period. Because they get bloated, so it naturally gets rid of some of that water, and it adds potassium in it so that they don't cramp and all that stuff. Anyways, I told her about this, but I told her not to use it because I'm not sure if it's a banned substance or not, But she was so willing, like she was so trusting, and she's like, well, I'm pretty sure it's it's over the counter. And by the way, that's not what she got popped for.
He's the reason Chris Cyborg got popped.
Breaking news.
Adrian finally admits on air that he was the one who suggested a diuretic. Everyone
Yeah.
thinks she got caught for a steroid trying to get bigger. She got caught trying to get smaller, cutting
Yeah.
weight.
Yeah, she was actually trying to cut weight, and the thing is, if you ever see her in person, she's not having any fat on her whatsoever. Like it's all muscle.
And she works harder than anyone else.
Oh, man.
I don't care what supposedly you do or don't take. I'm not even going to get into that. She trains all day, every day.
And that's another thing
She
that Rogan
trains
brought
like
up
a
this
champion.
week. He said,
'Cause
we
look
need
at
we need
people-
more weight classes, man. It's just
Yeah.
worried
Well-
about people cutting weight and getting brain damage. We need more fucking weight classes.
Karina Dam's been busted twice for steroids, correct?
Has she really?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. At least once. I think twice, though. Is she a world champion?
Nope.
Is she knocking girls out with one punch?
Nope.
So then why is Chris Cyborg, who got caught taking the diuretic into the steroid one time, why is it any different?
Because Chris Cyborg's a legitimate threat.
Exactly.
Right.
And so I think it's so freaking hypocritical. Even the same with
And if you're gonna have a legitimate threat and you want to make any money off of it, there has to be the heel face WWF
Right.
fucking. You have to have a heel and a
even
face.
Tim Sylvia. Do you remember the fight when he fought Frank Mir and got his arm broken?
Yeah.
Listen to the commentary from Joe Rogan. And he says Tim Sylvia back from suspension. He got suspended for steroids. But he wasn't trying to. It wasn't like he was trying to get bigger or anything, folks. He was just trying to improve the way his body looked. Wanted a six pack. Wanted to look good. And then they didn't give a fuck. They didn't give a. So why is it such a double standard for Chris Cyborg?
Because she has to be the bad guy.
Right.
It's going to end up making her more money in the end.
Well, you know
Right.
what? Either everyone shut the fuck up about it, or kick out our favorite fighters over him. Kick out fucking Mir.
You're right.
Kick out.
How about
Barnett.
Vitor Belfort, who
Kick
just
out
who
Vit-
fought for a championship?
He's one of my favorite fighters. Kick
Yeah.
him out.
Two things that Rogan said this week that I heard on his podcast were, first of all, one of the things that I thought was funny as I smile into the camera, more mixed martial artists, and I think he specifically said UFC fighters,
Yes, he did.
smoke
Yeah.
marijuana
He did
than
too.
don't.
Yeah.
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 I think they're going to try to get something, an exemption or get it
Yeah.
legal, but they did increase the limit by either 10 or 15 times.
So, and to the people that are whatever watching, I'm walking proof that it's better than narcotics. So get rid of that fucking bullshit raw. And the second thing he said was most mixed martial artists, most
Well, I mean, in the
are on sauce.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there was a number that came out about 2 years ago, and they were saying like 80 to 90% of people, you know, when we talk to some of these fighters, that's what they were saying. Like 80 to 90% of the people are using some sort of steroid. But when people.
Now, my question is, do you think of that 80 to 90%, are they using sauce or are they using something that's like a banned diuretic or like
no,
I think they're using
sauce?
They're using like EPO. They're using
something that we would consider.
I think testosterone
roids.
and
Yeah,
HGH. I don't
yeah.
really think people use, so to speak, plain old steroids as you would think. It's substances that contain a steroid in it.
Okay.
I think it also, the main reason why they do it, it's not necessarily to, I mean, yes, they do get stronger, but it's more so that they recover from the training, right?
Oh,
So
well, that's the main reason.
that's
yeah.
the main reason,
The
I
main
think.
reason is recovery, 100%.
Yeah. It's not so,
100%.
they don't want massive muscles.
You don't want to put on
Yeah,
more. You're trying
yeah.
to lose weight in training.
That's
camp.
that's odd too, and the funny thing is, every single time, this is odd because fighters have injuries to their legs and stuff like that, often breaks and bones. And one of the medicines that they put me on when they go on and off of the nerve medication that they give me is steroids. They put me
Right.
on prednisone.
Oh, that's so bad. I had to get that for my Crohn's disease. I started getting back knee, bloated.
But
That's the opposite of anabolic.
No,
That's
but-
all the negative effects, and you don't get
right,
strong.
but what I'm trying to say is, like, in the regular field of medicine, when you have a like an injury that's
Oh,
beyond a
gotcha,
subcutaneous injury or something that's like a prolonged bad thing, like a bone injury or something like that, like osteoporosis, they give you steroids
Right.
to heal you
Right.
because they are good at healing you.
But the problem is the guy staying on them after using it for healing.
But I'm saying is, why can't they come up? This is what it's 2015. You know, we can come up with a way to make our cell phones this thing. We can come up with a way to do a whole bunch of different shit. Why can't we come up with a way to like differentiate healing steroids from the ones that are fucking used to cheat the system?
Well, you can, and that's why when you get caught with anabolic versus catabolic, it's a big issue. But also, they're moving on to different technology now, like not blood doping. Blood spinning is very popular with the plasma therapy. Like, what the hell's his name? Conor McGregor.
Well, the stem
Where-
cells.
Oh,
they're using stem-
PhD?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
they're
about,
using
yeah.
stem cells now.
PhD.
I did a commercial for the guy who I may do his in Vegas. This guy, Dr. Lemmer, or something like that. I actually filmed it. It's crazy where they spin the blood and you heal. He goes, "You heal you with you."
Yeah.
So like this guy had strep throat.
Oh,
goes
yeah,
in
Joe
there.
Rogan does that. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you go in there with a sore throat even, or you go in there with like a busted knee or a neck. It's insane, and they heal you
Right.
with you.
Yeah.
All right, it's so freaking hot in here, the humidity and stuff, and we've been going a long time. So unfortunately,
Oh,
I gotta
shit,
wrap
yeah,
this
we're
up.
running late.
I'm dying here. But last thing, we'll make this real quick, but I've gotta bust your balls with the story, real quick, because my throat's killing me. We got Bellator tomorrow. You used to work at Home Depot.
Mhm.
Your first day at the customer service return counter.
Yeah, it was like
Dude.
6 hours, I think.
Why did you care why people return stuff? Your job was just do the return. But what did you do when people return stuff?
Listen, man, you can't everybody out there knows this. Home Depot has like a return policy that's beyond full potato.
Is it better than Costco's?
Dude, you can rent shit from Home Depot. You can rent shit from Home Depot.
Really?
I'm not fucking joking you, dude. I worked there in South Florida when we had a hurricane. People would get lines buying generators. The only thing longer than that line was 2 days after the hurricane. The line, people returning them. Oh, my generator don't work. So I'd start it up. It'd be like, it works fine. Well, how'd you do it? I turned it on and started it. Well, I want to return. I want my money back. But it's used. Yeah, but I want my money back.
But what was your job? Was your job to ask them those questions? Or
Yeah,
just to do their
I was
turn?
supposed to like ask them questions why they weren't taking, why they were returning, and stuff like that. But in the end, like during training, they were like, "Dude, in the end, if they make a big deal, you just have to we have to take everything back. So you have to take it." And I'm like, "No, fuck that. You can't just rent stuff. We don't have. There's a Home Depot 20 miles down Glades Road that has a rental center where you can go in and rent tools. Go there. I'm not. Why do I got to fucking deal with this shit?" So I lasted like 45 minutes.
But didn't they give you a warning first and tell you don't do it anymore?
No, they were like, first I
And you're
told
like,
people
"Fuck
no.
that."
I was like, I'm not accepting it. I'm not taking it back. I was like, I'm not taking that back. I'm like, there's Coca-Cola in the gasoline tank for the generator. That's not a manufacturer error. Someone poured Coca-Cola in
You
this.
know, when I return stuff, I usually just say I'm just returning it because I'm returning it. I don't have to come up with an excuse why I'm returning it.
Well, the person that's taking it back, they don't go, was there something wrong with the product?
yeah, you know what I say?
And I say no. I just didn't want it.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I say no. You offer a return.
Well, that's the thing.
and I don't fucking want it.
I had to ask questions like, does the product work? No, it doesn't work. That's why I'm returning it.
Well, they're idiots.
And then I would have to check to see if it worked.
They're idiots. I would have just said, no, I just don't want it anymore.
But
So
this
they
isn't
promote-
right. You shouldn't just be able to fucking rent stuff. Fuck that.
But you told that to the person?
I told people no. They tried returning stuff, and they were like, well, whatever. I just want to return it. And I was like, that's not a good enough reason. I'm sorry. I'm not going to accept that.
So what did they do? They told you that you're the best employee at the counter. And
No, that guy went outside on his cell phone and called like the manager or whatever. And 20 minutes later, the manager was like, we're going to try you in paint.
Didn't you say it was like the most complaints like ever at Home Depot on the first day? Or
No,
something?
I had like 6 complaints in 45 minutes. So.
And you
Wow.
still and there's
Because I went from denying people to like giving
Ridiculing.
guilt trips
Yeah,
to
you're
being
preaching
like
them.
flat out mad. Like, oh, so you're just gonna rent shit? I understand. I guess we have a rental policy. I didn't know that. I started like treating them like assholes. You know.
That's hilarious. All right, well, guys, you can catch us on SoundCloud, on iTunes, or the video replay. Have fun hanging out with us on YouTube. Last second shout outs and plugs.
Just want to say, check us out on theclinchreport.com. You can find us there, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff.
All right, well, for the replay, I'm going to have to edit that since you talked about like quiet as a mouse.
Oh, I'm sorry. Find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, theclinchreport.com. We're going through a little bit of an update on the website, so bear with us. We're going to go through some changes, but should have some new stories up there soon. And I wanted to thank my boys, Joe Daddy and Phil Baroni, for coming out.
He's like our website's down and not working right now.
It's up,
check
it's
us
up.
out.
It's just
So
not
check us out.
updated.
Oh, huge shout out to Phil Baroni and to Joe Daddy. Thank you so much, Clinch, for having your buddies on the show as guest. Dude, Phil, that was the first time I've had an in-depth conversation like that with him. I honestly, I want to have him on a whole show sometime. And Joe Daddy was so well-spoken where some of these guys, he has like 50 fights, 30-something plus 16. He has 50 fights, I think, as a pro. And he did not sound punchy at all. He sounded freaking good. He sounded like he had his wits and
Yeah, those guys, those two guys have forgotten more about MMA
Than we
than
ever
entire organizations know.
Fun fact: Joe Stevenson showed me the Peruvian necktie. Fun fact.
Why didn't you bring that up when he was on the air?
Because
We
you
just
know,
have time.
yeah.
Oh, so
Underrated
do you- anything you wanna-
grappler. Dude,
Yeah, really
sick
good.
on the ground.
Oh, dude, Cobra, are you kidding? Underrated? He's so well respected as a grappler.
Grappler, one of the best. One of the
Yeah, but you're right though. But people don't really know widespread. The hardcores know. But oh yeah.
Well, it's not that Barambola like athletic fucking jumping guard style.
And he's in Victorville, which is kind of obscure, like inland
Smash City,
location.
you know,
and
yeah.
Adrian, anything you want to shout out?
No, just we're excited to maybe have a new thing going on here.
Follow us on MMA Prime, The Clinch Report, at Aaron True. If you want to be a guest on the show or you're interested in sponsoring the segments, we actually have a few sponsors already lined up and some big things in the works, but we're always welcome to speak to other people, to take on people who want to promote their products. Once again, Aaron True, Jonathan King, Adrian Gallegos. This is The Brutally Honest Show.